Hello everybody, this is Dan Wan Talk. In this episode, I'm going to answer some questions from you guys. Last week, there was an Australian wine company sent me an email. They said the 4 categories, which I did in the last episode, was very helpful for them. They want to focus more on the regional importers or the small players because their appetite is not that big. They want only be limited in certain regions in China. Yeah, but they want to know how to use Chinese social media to promote their business. Okay, that's a really good question. Because what we have in China is so different. We don't have YouTube, no Facebook, no Twitter. Only a very small portion of population, they might use LinkedIn and Google+. Okay, you might say, oh God, how could I do business in China? Okay, before you go to Chinese market, please spend at least 5 minutes with me. Try to understand the basic situation in Chinese market. In 2011, China has 400 million internet users. It stands for 40% of the entire population. If you want to do business in China, I don't think first you want to target those small, tiny villages. Probably you want to choose the big cities and big towns. But the internet penetration rate in those big cities are at least 60%. Why Intelligent did a research, they said in China, 80% of wine consumers go online to check information about their products. This rate is much higher than what you have in Europe and USA, because you only have around 40% or something. But why? Because Chinese consumer, they don't trust the retailing shops. They prefer to believe information on internet is more reliable. So, all your potential consumers are online, so go online and get them. Okay, we are talking about go online, but which website should you use? Here I'm going to give you a snapshot of the Chinese social media industry. Before starting, please don't misunderstand Chinese social media. Perhaps you think we don't have Facebook, no Twitter, no YouTube. You think we don't use social media. Actually, that's wrong. Because we have a lot of homegrown websites, homegrown softwares, so they are totally equivalent to what you're using now. For instance, okay, we have Renren, which is exactly the same thing like Facebook, and we have Weibo, that's just like Twitter. Please remember the social media business in China and your country is almost the same thing. You will follow exactly the same strategy, like SEO, increase of visibility, interaction with followers. That's only on different platforms. Okay, today in this episode, let's focus on Weibo. We all say Weibo is Chinese Twitter or Chinese microblog. The 3 biggest Chinese microblog are Sina, Tencent, and Wangyi. Sina blog is definitely #1 in China. It has more than 300 million users. Well, basically, if you know how to use a Twitter, you can easily figure out how to use Weibo, because that's almost exactly the same thing as I mentioned for several times. And you have to register, log in, you can post, and can repost, and can comment. However, there are still some difference. Okay, you might say, oh, if I use Weibo because I don't understand a word of Chinese, how could I use it? Don't worry, if you know how to use Twitter, I'm 100% sure you know how to use Weibo. Let's have a look at Twitter. You say this is a username, and how many tweets he had, and how many people he is following, and how many followers he had. Well, this is Weibo, almost the same thing. You say the name and the people he's following and his followers and how many posts they had. You say they're basically the same thing. You can do exactly the same like what you did on Twitter. You can post, you can repost, and you can share. Okay, and the first difference between Chinese Weibo and Twitter is the limit of characters. In Chinese Weibo, you could write 140. But in English Twitter, you could write 140 letters. So in this case, what you write in Chinese, you could convey much more information than what you write in English. For instance, you can say here we go, it's a Chinese Weibo, it's 140 characters, but you can write 5 or 6 sentences. But in Twitter, maybe 2 or 3. Okay, the second difference is how could you see a photo? In Chinese Weibo, the photos are always here. So they are all presented in a very small preview version. For instance, this one, if you want it big, click it, now it's big. But in Twitter, let's say, in Twitter you have no photo. If you want to see a photo here, you have to click the small options called View Photo. Okay, here we go, you got the photo. So in this case, we can say in Chinese Weibo, the photo is extremely important because if you want to attract your reader's attention, you have to make it colorful and attractive. So please put a photo. The third special feature for Weibo is you could write a long Weibo. What I mean is you can just write an article, and there is a special application. You could use that to convert your article into a photo. For instance, here that guy write a very long article, but using that application, it's just like photo. It's very easy to read. Now in this case, you might ask me, "Hi, this Weibo is only 140 characters. Why should I write something very long?" Okay, I'll give you an example. For instance, here is my Twitter. If I want to share something, I want to share a very long article. What I can do is only write a sentence to give a very brief introduction of this article. If you find it interesting or you are attracted, maybe you will be patient enough to click this link and wait for 5 or 10 seconds until this web page showed up. Okay, and spend another 10 minutes to read. But with this kind of special long Weibo, it's just like photo. It takes you maybe 1 second to read everything. Well, great, congratulations. Now you already have your skills to run up your own Weibo. But there is a new problem coming out. You don't have many followers. No matter how great your writing is, there is no chance for anybody to see your post. What can you do? You can ask help from the other popular accounts actually. Yeah, for instance, there is an account called Wine Knowledge. It has 100,000 followers. You can ask this guy to share everything you write. In this case, you could have another 100,000 readers to click your article. Yeah, but normally you really have to pay for this service. But more efficiently, if you want, you can buy a popular account with a lot of followers. So there are some websites selling this kind of account. But please pay attention, this is a double-edged sword. You have to make sure you can write very good materials and you can update your Weibo regularly. Otherwise, I'm afraid this kind of high visibility is going to hurt your reputation. Okay, and the last thing you have to pay attention is fake followers. Yes, fake followers. You might find a wine company has 1 million or 200,000 followers, but they're not doing a good job because everything they write is really nonsense and they're not updating their Weibo neither. But how could they attract so many followers? And each time this company posted something, there's almost no comment. Well, in this case, probably they're buying fake followers. Yeah, fake followers, don't be surprised. Since you can buy a popular account online, you could also buy fake followers online. There are some websites selling this kind of fake followers. Perhaps 20 euro for 1,000 followers. They have photo, they have the signature, maybe even have 1 or 2 posts. But as for you guys, please do not do this. Do not buy fake followers. But me, I'm telling you this information is not to encourage you to have fake followers, but to inform you some dirty tricks. Perhaps nobody will explain you. Okay, this is the end of this episode. Hope you enjoy it. And I really wish next time we could follow each other on Weibo, and this episode will give you a general idea of how to use this. Okay, and this is Dan One Talk. Thank you for watching.